Well, welcome back to the iWealth podcast. I'm with Shawn Pomeroy and JP Eykyn today from the Waseca office, and I want to talk about taxes. So we just got through one tax deadline. It seems like every year they sneak up on us and we go through those taxes. We also ask Monica to ask our clients to bring their tax returns in. You know, Shawn, why does a financial advisor want to see those tax returns? What's important? What do you look at when it comes in?
Yeah, I just think that it's critical. And even somebody who says, well, I'm going to retire next year and these taxes aren't going to look anything like those taxes, it still helps us get a feeling for, you know, you're telling us something, but can we kind of prove it? You know, you're telling us what you're living on, but what do the numbers really show us? Do we, as an advisor, I think that's part of our role, is to dig in, maybe ask some tough questions, and then maybe push that little bit extra. Do they really know what's going on? Mm-hmm. And let's face it, there's some huge strategies surrounding, you know, when to turn on Social Security, both from a tax standpoint and an income standpoint, cash flow.
Yep. Medicare.
Medicare, having those taxes lets us build that history, that track record, and be able to strategize. Should you take out your whole distribution in December, or half in December and half in January? Mm-hmm. Could be two totally different tax worlds.
Yeah. You know, JP, we have some software, a couple different softwares that we use in the office. Maybe explain what we use those for and why we get those tax returns, which is critical, like Shawn said, but then what are you doing with them?
Yeah, so using some of the tax software that we have, we're able to just upload those returns into this software, and it spits out an image or basically tax report that gives us some a good basis on where a client might sit from a Medicare premium standpoint, or they might have a capital loss carryover, things like that, and that software will capture it and kind of blow it up in front of our face. That way we're catching it also. But the really cool part about it is being able to manipulate for future years. So, you sit down with your accountant and you're trying to maximize your deductions in that year.
Right.
What we're then able to do is take that tax return that they used and figure out how to minimize taxes the next year or the year after, so on and so forth down the line, by manipulating that tax return. Maybe you had a large capital gain that you're not going to have next year. Or maybe, in Shawn's case, they retired. What's my tax return going to look like once I turn on Social Security, but I no longer have income?
Right.
Yeah. Can I basically do a Roth conversion, or can I move money out of my IRA into, a non-taxable space to get ready for when my RMDs are going to spike?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Do it at 10 or 0% tax bracket instead of 22.
Yeah. It's so interesting to me that, and this has been going on for 30 years, when you sit down with clients and explain the brackets, like we're just not used to looking at it. Like our accountants, we trust them, and we should, and they take care of things, but filling up that bracket, that 10% bracket, the 18, the 22%, filling up whatever bracket there is, to say, listen, you could convert 10 grand.
Yeah.
You use this software, do a $10,000 conversion, pay some taxes on it, but stay in your same 12% bracket or 10% bracket or whatever bracket that they're in to look at, because those change all the time with Congress too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just think tax planning is so important. And then to flip that, so we've just talked about income taxes, but there's estate taxes too. And the estate taxes is everything you own, your life insurance, your boats, cars, all that kind of stuff, all gets added up, and you have to file an estate tax return. And right now it's about $12 million federal, right? State of Minnesota, 5. I'm gonna get that wrong. You guys know where that is roughly? It's in that 5 range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Individually.
5 to 3. Yeah.
Yeah, and all that stuff's going to change come next year. And so, I've been meeting with clients, I'm sure you guys have too, about listen, if you have a large estate today, you can do some gifting and some tax work around the estate plan. And the only takeaway from that is, if you have a large net worth, like, be talking to somebody about your estate taxes too. We know enough to be dangerous, but we bring the specialist in to take care of it too. So
yeah, somebody needs to recognize that it needs to be addressed.
yeah.
And I think that's one of our primary roles there. And then to quarterback it from there on out, be that third person in the room so that the client feels comfortable going deeper into that subject. Because it's not a great subject, right? You know, you're going to die.
Yeah.
We all will someday.
You didn't spend enough, and you're going to die.
Yeah.
And you know, just like how we ask for tax returns, you know, we typically ask for legal documents too. And being able to review those, they were done in 2000. Now my net worth has increased significantly since then. Back in 2000, was there, you know, an estate tax provision that was built into this? And, you know, like Brad said, that's when we bring the experts in, but we can at least identify, you know, read through this. You don't have this, you know, in those documents. You may want to consider getting those updated.
Yeah.
I would say people don't necessarily really understand how taxes work, and they definitely don't understand how their estate plan works.
Right.
They don't understand that a beneficiary trumps their will. They don't understand, you know, I mean, some of these things that we kind of take for granted, but if we don't look at that and have a conversation about what their goals are, and then go back and look at how everything's set up, you know, they're going to haunt us.
Exactly.
They're going to come back and haunt somebody because it's.
Bottom line is we want to sleep at night too, right? We want to do what's
Absolutely.
right for
I want
our
to know
clients
that what
and
they
sleep.
wanted is going to get put in place.
For sure. For sure. Well, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you picked up something today on taxes. And if you need any help, obviously let us know. Like us on Facebook, our podcasts, and have a great day.